R&B Artist of the Year is Miss Journey Montana. Yeah. She here. Let's go.
Reminiscing about when I could stand you. You a bitch ass nigga, can't stand you. In the sub paid off, no rental. I've been managing the shit you couldn't handle. You making bad decisions, fucking on average woman. Said you wouldn't do it and you did it. I'ma pull up on your block and spin it.
Been a minute, woo. Shut up when I'm sipping, woo. Look at how I'm living, woo. Everything different.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we have Journey Montana in the building. Say hi.
Hey, y'all.
I'm excited to have you here because it just seems like I know you forever.
I know. I'm so excited. I was like,
and she's never been on the couch before.
We had to do it. We had to get it done.
So the first time I met you, you were actually doing an interview with Airs Entertainment.
Yes.
And I was so excited to kind of like listen because that was the first time that I was introduced to you at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to learn so much. So we're going to just brief them really quick because I want to get into like what's going on now and everything, you guys. So I'm just going to let them know about you and you just tell me where you want to fit in. So Journey, you're from Harlem.
I am.
Your dad was a singer.
Yes, he was.
Your mom has been in the industry 20 plus years.
Yes, she has.
You've been singing since you were
an infant. Yes.
So you came out singing.
I came out
basically,
singing.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You've been acting. How long have you been acting?
I've been acting since I was like 9.
Okay.
About like when I got into like my coaching and I got like my first agent. I was like 9, 10-ish.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've been just piling this.
Yeah, it's always been something that I like have been doing in the background, like on the side, like that people didn't really know about, not in the forefront, but it was always like I had my acting classes 2 times a week, every day, and like, you know, that was always something I was working at. Yeah.
And I know something that was really surprising to me is that you were like writing at a very young age. So I wanted you to like let them know like you wrote for a lot of like big people and you've been in these rooms, you know, working on projects.
Yeah. So it started basically with me in a girl group. When I was like around the 8th or 9th grade, I got into a girl group and, you know, that was like my first time being in the studio and I learned a lot about, because I always liked to write and I always had that passion, like I would put a song on a verse or something, but I didn't really know about recording an actual song and I didn't really know how to do that yet. And I had never really done it. So working with them, it taught me how to actually make a song. And then I kind of just picked it up really fast and like ran with it. And then I just started like writing for the girl group a lot. And it was kind of funny because I was a replacement. And then I kind of like
doing everything.
Yeah, like I really got into the writing aspect of like all the songs. And then we got into a distribution situation and then they noticed that I was writing a lot of the stuff, so they started putting me in like sessions with their other artists to like write hooks or like help write songs,
guide them.
Yeah, guide them. And I was just like so surprised because it got to a point where like one of the artists was calling me like every day, like I need you in the studio.
I need help.
I need Journey. I need Journey right now. And I was like 14. It was just like
wow.
It was crazy. And then so then that really gave me a lot of experience and knowledge because I was working with other songwriters as well that were also in those sessions, and I realized they all had their own styles and all different ways of like writing a song. So you had to
customize different songs for different people.
Exactly, and then it just taught me like, oh, there's not just one way to write a song. Like you can write a song, like people freestyle and the way they write a song, or some people
do the melody.
Yeah, the melody first, and then they write, or some people just sit down and write the whole thing, and then they'll go in and do it. And so it's just like there's a lot of different ways to do it, and like it really taught me the importance also of like feeling the music, because like I had one songwriter be like, well, what do you feel? Like let's sit and let this beat play and let's talk for a second and like figure out how we feel. So like I just learned a lot.
A lot of producers do that, like really, really good producers. That's the main thing they do is they ask you how you're feeling today, because then they know how to produce for you, like the feeling.
Like, they'll be like, what's going on in your life right now? Yeah. No.
Any boy trouble?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I got a beat for that.
And then they'll, like, build from that. So, you know, those like couple of years, I learned a lot with my songwriting, and it became like a real passion for me. Cause you know, it was also me building my confidence within that time.
And you were really young.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
was
like
really
you're
young.
learning everything, like
Yeah.
literally in front of a camera and in front of a mic.
Yeah.
Right? Like going through. I think that's really neat. So in 2020, right, you released Case of an Ex.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that, because I watched that video. I was like, this is funny.
So basically, within that time, we were just talking about we could connect the dots. So that was like the first time I was recording. After coming out of the girl group, and I had like my first boyfriend, and I was writing so much music about him. And it was like the drama that we had, like the song I Have Better, I wrote that before Case of the Ex. And Better was about that ex that I'm talking about. And Better's like, I know better. Like, it's just like, I don't care about it. Like, it's a real heartbreak song. And I wrote that like when I was like 15. And so
this girl is amazing. She's right at 15. Like, who says that?
And it was a lot of like me getting like, what do you even know about that?
Right.
Like, what do you even know about that? Like at that age, cause
love, I know love.
Right, I'm like, I get my heart broke. So yeah, so I wrote Case of the Ex later, like around the time when it was dropped. And
think of me, I don't think of you. That
yeah,
I was just sitting there like, that's what I thought about, like your age and the stuff you were saying. I'm like,
yeah,
this is too funny.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was when I was like 16, and so that was when we like broke up.
Your homegirls annoyed, like they're
because everybody was like, they were all like, girl.
They probably even were like, and now we're shooting a video about him too?
No,
like,
for real, it was my actual friends in that video, and they were like, yes.
They look sick. Wait, go real quick and say. Just watch it real quick. We're gonna come back, but you guys really have to watch her friends. Look at her friends in the video.
Faces. They're sick of me.
Tell them to go watch it.
Go watch it and look at my friends' faces.
Cases of an Ex.
Yes, Case of the Ex. Go Google it right now. I'm watching.
Oh, I told him I've been doing me. I ain't feeling you. Making bigger moves. Getting over you. When you think of me, I don't think of you. I'm better off without you here. You made your bed, but it ain't here. Honestly, you need to chill. I won't feel the same about you. Yeah, 'cause I won't feel the same about you.
And we're back, and I know you guys seen how sick her friends were of her on Cases of an Ex.
Okay, yeah.
I was cracking up during that whole video. And just to hear the story behind it now makes it even funnier because they gave off everything they was feeling.
It makes sense. They was sick of me. It was years.
Oh my God. Well, that's what friends are for. They're here to be there with you through the in, through the outs. And talking about In and Out. That's one of your albums, right?
Yes.
Released in 2000. I think it was 2020 as well, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that album, because it's right before this one, so.
Yeah, so In and Out, that was like my first like EP. You know, it like holds a place in my heart because it was like my first, and it was really me trying to showcase like versatility on that project. And I kind of just took all of my songs that reached and touched different places just to like figure out what, you know, it was the beginning. It's like the beginning. It was the beginning of my catalog. And so I was just trying to figure out, like, you know, feel out what my fans really, really wanted from me. Like, I had all types of stuff. Like, I had slow stuff. I had, like, more reggae type of stuff. I had, like...
Popish?
Pop stuff. I had, like, a rappy Flo Milli type record on there that I put, like, my friend on. Like, it was a lot of different places that project touched. So it was really me just trying to test out, like, my versatility. And, you know, I was just in a place where it was In and Out stands for in my bag and out my feelings. So
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah, so it's for in my bag and out my feelings. And like if you listen to it as it kind of crescendos with like just the energy and like the feeling yourself type of vibe. Like it starts with Forget Me, I think, and that's like the slowest song on the record, and then it ends with Bratty, which is like the most like put up on your man and took him, you know. So it's kind of like a a shift in like a story that's being told. Even with like the interludes, which I love the interludes so much. Like one of the interludes is "Lie to Me," and I have this guy who was doing a hand reading on me or a face reading. It was a face reading, and he was really. I was like, oh. I feel attacked right now, for real. So I had recorded it on my phone, and so I took a piece of that.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like him talking about how like I am obsessed and addicted to the truth, and then I put that in cliche. That's one of the lines in the song. So it like
so
had,
you
like, a
even
connection.
like
yeah.
okay, all right, Journey. You like keep on amazing me. I don't even think that that's possible. But Saber Bro, I want you to break that down for me because I was like, wait, what is she saying? She's saying Saber Bro, but then she's talking about. I was like, I'm kind of yeah. So help me out. Because even seeing the video, I was like, yeah, we got to talk about this.
Yeah. So Saber Bro is produced by Major 7. He produced a lot of stuff for Rihanna and Rick Ross. He's super, super dope, based in Atlanta.
Nice.
And it's so funny because it was like I came to him with this idea because I was having like a Eminem obsession. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I was really deep.
Oh, you really like Eminem?
I love Eminem, and I was like at that time
Eminem.
really.
You heard this, right? Don't take this lightly, Eminem.
Okay, yeah, I really love him, and like again with me and like songwriting and lyricism, like it's a really important thing for me. So I was really diving into like just his wordplay and like really, really loving just his catalog. And then it was Superman that I was listening to at the time. And I love that song. Like, I love that video. I know it's like bashing women or whatever, but like one thing about Eminem, he's gonna talk his shit. And it was like a little bit of him, like, I think it was like a diss a little bit at somebody. I don't know, but
you didn't care. You liked the body of work.
Yeah, I liked the song, and I just liked the point of view. And you know, that's what I'm looking for a lot of times, just like with life and with music and with anything that I digest. It's like points of view. Because I feel like that kind of is the key to a good song or a good music or good anything is like a different point of view or like a, you know.
Right, make you think.
Yeah, so I really liked what he was saying in that song. So I came to Major 7 and I was just like, like, I kind of want to like mess with this a little bit, this point of view. And so he made like a bones of a beat, and then like I kind of took, you know, the I do know one thing though, niggas they come they go, like it was like a little bit with that, and then he went back and then like added so much to the beat. Like he had like a guitar and a whole bunch of crazy stuff to the beat and like sent it back to me, and I was like, yo, this is not what I left the studio with. Like, what is this?
And then you got on and was like,
yeah,
it don't matter if you plotting, it don't mean I gotta go for it.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, and I was just like, let me just talk my mess and like have that really hard point of view. And I think that was like the beginning of like where Bad Decisions comes into and like my newer things, because that was like my first time me really being like unapologetic. And kudos to Eminem, because he had that unapologeticness that I think kind of lives in my music a little bit, where like I'm gonna say
people don't understand. It might not, because you see how you said, you know, it was about women or bashing women. Some people don't understand. Sometimes it's some music stimulates you to do something maybe even better than you were thinking anyway. So I really don't look at too much words and just like take my own perception and feel like this is the way it was. I perceive things and then I'm able to create from how I perceive things. So I think that's a great way to look at things. Like you're not even worried about the message it was sending. It was the point of view. And it made you be even more creative.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eminem.
Exactly. I love him.
So let's talk about Amazon Prime. Because wait a minute. She's doing a whole lot of acting, y'all. Like, she's in her bag. She's literally in her acting bag, in her singing bag. She's just all over right now. So tell us about Harlem.
So Harlem, that was like my first sync. So they used my song in like
Forget
episode
Me.
5. Yeah, they used Forget Me. And it was super cool because when they hit me about it, it was like a year before anything about the show was out. So I was just like, oh, like, what's this? Like, okay. And yeah, it was really cool. Megan Good was in the scene to my song. They told us that she was the lead, and I was like, oh, like, that's cool, but like, what is this? I don't know. And it was so funny because the scene that they used it in is really like in line with the video. Like she's on the train, and even in the Forget Me music video, like I'm on the train.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it just like was such a perfect scene for the song, and I was like,
go.
oh my gosh, like I wouldn't have even, it couldn't have been any better. And I was like, wow, it was really cool.
Was that like your first big acting, like? Besides, I know you did Dr. Mixed Up and for Disney.
Oh gosh, yeah.
every time I say that to her, she gets really flustered and pink. I don't know what is going on.
Oh my gosh. But yeah. It was my first sync, so that was like my first time doing having anything like that.
Nice.
Like people were like they were like, oh my gosh, is this Journey song? And then like even when it came on, it says Journey Montana Forget Me, which was cool.
So you see your credits.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Okay,
yeah.
I like that. So now let's go fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about All American. I know most of you are watching All American because if I don't know anything else, I know everybody is just like, that's the girl from All American, and they don't know anything else, Journey. So let's talk about All American first. Like, how was that? Like,
it was amazing. It was a really, really great experience, and I'm super, super grateful for it. It was like one of my first moments where I had to like be a grown up and like do something like completely on my own, like without my team and without my mom and without my sisters and without anybody, because I had to shoot it in LA.
Oh.
And you know, we found out like really quickly. Like I had auditioned, and I was actually flying to Atlanta because I had just I was going on doing some dates with Justine Skye for her tour. And so I flew to Atlanta, and then it like some stuff happened, and then I was like, yeah, and then immediately as soon as I was in the airport, I got a call like, come to LA right now. And I was like, oh my gosh. So in the airport, I was still at the airport when I just turned around and got on another plane.
Wow.
And it was only like a week after I auditioned, like 4 days. I had just auditioned for it, and I was like, I had a feeling when I did it that I was gonna get it, which is like, I know people say that all the time, but like really, and I feel like that
you
also
felt it.
Yeah, like I did it, and I was like, oh yeah, like I got this.
this.
Like no, for real. So that was like another, like that was really cool. And then yeah, so I went out and I did that. And
let's talk about Jen, because first of all, you're nowhere near Jen, so I was so like literally, like I told you when you came in, it was like I was so like surprised that you were really, really so good at acting. I felt like you was doing it forever. I was just like,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your night.
Are you high right now?
I'm coming down. I've been under so much pressure with dance, and I thought I could keep it under control.
But we can't.
My heart was racing so fast, and I didn't know what was happening to me.
It's okay. Come here.
I was really scared, but
come here. You're gonna be okay. I'm here. Okay?
I need help. I want to be sober. I promise I do. I've been so scared of what that looks like. But what happened tonight scared me even more.
how does she play this drug addict like right now? Like you really, it was so funny because you did your makeup. And you was like, I look kind of like, you said like gothic drag. What'd you say?
Like emo princess vibes.
Because they had like the red on her eyes. Like she had to look like she was on drugs.
Yeah.
So how was that? How was playing someone on drugs, like getting into that character? Like,
oh my gosh.
What did you put in your mind to do that?
I honestly, it was like my first time having to like cry or like anything. And I was you know, I recently lost my grandfather, so I was really just like feeling his presence with me, and like, you know, not even like trying to be sad about him, but like just like letting him help me or like be with me because it was something difficult for me to do.
Special.
Yeah.
It was your first,
Yeah. And so I like was having like, and then also I like was like having a panic attack in my trailer. Like I was like trying to like psych myself out. Like I remember I was like,
I can imagine
out.
just all that coming at you because now you're gonna be in front of it's different.
Yeah, it was. And then so I was in my trailer, and I read the script for the first time for that episode, and I was like, oh, like this is a crying scene. Okay. All right, cool. And
tears on cue.
Yeah, like let's get the tears ready. Let's like, you know, let's prep for it. And you know, like even the directors, like I was like talking to them about it, and they were like, yeah, we gave you that because we feel like you could do it, and da da da. And it was like, okay, like all right. I can do it. I can do it. And so, yeah, like I was in my trailer trying to like, cause she's like having like a mental breakdown. So I was like trying to like have a mental breakdown. Like, I don't know. Like I was just in my trailer, like rolling around and like jumping on the floor.
These are really
and,
the
like,
things actresses do. So
yeah,
it's
I was really trying to get into it. And then it was like my first time because people don't even know. Like behind the camera, it's like 50 people. So
everybody think it's intimate, right?
yeah, it's not intimate. It was, and then it was like we were shooting 2 scenes at the same time. So it was like Tay Diggs was right there watching me like, and I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so it was like one of those, like when it's those type of scenes, like emotional scenes, everybody gathers and everybody watches. So
because
like,
they ready to see your
yeah,
skills.
like they want to see the drama, and like when it's like a dramatic scene, everybody's like you could see everybody going towards the camera to like watch, like oh this is interesting, I want to see. So it was everybody, like everybody was standing behind the camera, everybody was watching, like it was like a full, probably like the most people behind the camera out of my entire
This is
experience.
when you came in high?
Yeah, when I came in high and I was crying. And it was, everybody was behind the camera watching, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Okay. I need help. I want to be sober. I promise I do. I've been so scared of what that looks like. But what happened tonight scared me even more.
And then
you were really good. Like I believed it. Like knowing it wasn't real, I believed it, and that's what being a good actress is.
Oh,
so
thank you.
I'm very excited to see like your journey on her journey acting. Like I'm ready to see that.
Thank you.
And also like a special scene that I seen is when you were speaking to Olivia, and she was trying to give you a pin, I guess, for you being successfully like sober for a little while, and you were like, well, I can't take this because, you know, I was already getting mentored by someone else. It was basically you were thanking her, even though you told her like she didn't have no time for you. You were still like, if you weren't the one that came to me and told me that I needed this help, I would have never been here. So thank you.
I'm so
sorry. I'm sorry for almost ruining your big moment, and for missing the meeting, and for violating your trust. I know it's not gonna make up for everything, but Nurse Joy gave that to me on my 6 months, and it's kind of tradition to pass it down the sponsorship line, so.
I can't take this.
Why not?
So I did sprain my ankle a few weeks ago, and I did think about using, and I tried to tell you, but you're so hard to get a hold of, so I started talking to somebody else in the program. She helped me find alternative ways to manage pain, and I didn't mean for it to happen, but I guess she kind of became my pretend sponsor, and now I think it's best if she's just my sponsor.
I mean, I guess that explains why you've been so distant lately.
No, I'm not mad, Liv. You got me here. You got me to stop using. You got me to take this program seriously. That's why I had the strength to move on when my sobriety was at risk.
Why are we talking about this scene? This was my favorite scene I shot.
I knew that.
Directed by the great CC Roberts. It was literally one of my favorite scenes, and you know, it was like a breakup scene. And you know, by that time, me and Sam, that was the last scene that I shot, that was the last scene that I shot of the show. And me and Sam had actually gotten really close by that time, and like actually had a relationship, like a big sister type of relationship. So like we were like really on the verge of tears for real, because we knew like this was our last scene together, and like we were like really feeling it, like we were breaking up, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it was really great direction, especially with like the pin, like from CC. Like she was amazing, and it was so great to have like a Black woman director working with us, and especially with that type of scene. And yeah, it really like pulled the heartstrings. Like
the message to me was big, because sometimes we expect things from people instead of just being grateful for what they have done already and not what we perceive that they should be doing. So I think that scene was perfect, because it was like you were saying that I can't take this, because I feel like, you know, I don't deserve it because I'm like literally, you know, being mentored by someone else. But at the same time, you were being so thankful because I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for even the little bit that you gave me. So I think that was very important. It was like, it was definitely a good scene. I was like, I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Yes. Well, let's talk about bad decisions because you know how I feel about bad decisions. Like, if you have not streamed Bad Decisions, if you have not seen the video, we're going to talk about it for a little second and we're going to point you to it because we're going to make you watch it because you're going to keep watching it right after that.
Better.
So let's talk about Bad Decisions because I was like, Journey, you started on fire. First line you went in.
Okay.
I was like, you didn't even wait. She didn't wait. For what?
Girl, I was fed up. I was sick of it. I was sick of it. I was like, it's not going to work. It was just a mess. And, you know,
it felt like a consistency of it. Like, you just keep making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it was really the core of it because I was actually going through a breakup and it was just like, I felt like this dude was
First of all, y'all crazy if y'all playing with Journey right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're crazy if you're messing with Journey right now. Because Journey is just skyrocketing. So you better. But go ahead.
But yeah, I was actually
He's
going
sick right
through...
now. Just tell you, he's sick right now. But go ahead. You know it, right? But yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was going through a breakup, and it was just like, this dude is not listening to nothing that I'm saying, because everything that I said in the song, I said to this dude. Like, we could find a text message somewhere where I said these things. So it was just like, yo, this dude is not. He's not listening to what I'm saying. Like, you're not listening to what I'm saying. So I had to record it, and I sent it to him. Because I was like, now you're going to feel what I'm saying, because I'm going to drop this, and you're going to really feel what I'm saying, and everybody's going to know what I'm saying. Because, like, I was very much the type where, like, I kept our drama to ourselves. Like, none of his friends knew about our drama, because he wasn't going to tell them. So none of his friends knew about our drama. None of our parents, like, nobody knew what was going on, and I always, like, would bite my tongue or like keep it to myself, and like his friends would be like, oh, text him back or like whatever, like when I would be ignoring him, like he really misses you, and I'm like, you don't even know what's going on. Like really,
relax.
Really, you don't even know what's going on. Like you don't even know what he did.
He's making bad decisions,
right? And so I was just like, let me just clear the air for everybody, because I had like deaded it, and I felt like some people was looking at me like the bad guy. They didn't know what was actually going on. So I was like, let me clear the air, because. Like, I was just
what
like...
What did you say when you sent him the song?
He started addressing certain lines. Like...
Now he's listening, right?
Yeah.
Because I know everybody's going to listen to this. So let me start here. Line 1.
No, for real. It was just like, what homeboy flew you out?
Oh, he wanted to know about that part, didn't he?
He was like, what homeboy? I was like, that one. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he's
I'm just
sick.
kidding.
No.
But yeah, it was just like, that one, boo. Like, it was just like very much like, well, what is that? What does that mean? What you mean
after
by
bad
that?
decisions, you left him alone? Like,
yeah.
You was just like, wow.
Yeah, it's a no.
It sucks to be you, bro.
That was like my closure. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad I did that. I don't ever want to be in such an angry or like frustrated place again. And I think that it was good to like let it out.
Right.
And I think that was kind of like just like my period at the end. Like, because I have been saying the same thing, not even just to that person or just like for myself. Like, I felt like I wasn't being heard at all. And so I was like, let me speak to somebody who's going to listen. Like, let me speak to the people that's going to listen. And let me speak to my supporters. Let me speak to like the people that listen to my music. And it went
crazy.
Yeah.
It went crazy. Like, bad decisions. I knew, like, once I heard the record, I was like, oh, this is it. Like, this is the one right here. Because this is before you didn't release it yet when I met you and everything else. So when I was like, right away, I put it on the stories like, yes, you making bad decisions. I was doing an interview. And I was like, you making bad decisions.
Okay.
It sucks to be you.
I love it.
It was just relatable. And that's really what you do. You relate to a lot of us that are going through certain situations. And even though that you hated to be in that, like, I could say energy to even bring that out of you, it still helps so many other women get over what they're going through. And it's just like a, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So, let's check out Bad Decisions.
Go do it right now.
Go do it right now.
Go do it right now. I'm not playing with you.
And we'll be back.
Reminiscing about when I could stand you. You a bitch ass nigga, can't stand you. In the sub paid off, no rent. I've been managing the shit you couldn't handle. You making bad decisions. Fucking on average woman. That drunk text sends. Don't read into it too much. Don't feed into it too much. Always got my wheels turning like a school bus. Gotta draw the line here. You making bad decisions. Fucking on average woman. Even before I get mad, I'ma get pissed before I get sad. I get turn something so good, so bad. So bad.
We're back, so you see Bad Decisions. You see why we all hooked, right? You get it? You got it? Good. Keep streaming it.
Okay.
So I want to talk about the experience because, one, I want to thank you for staying the night. You were enjoying yourself. Like, you supported all the other artists. Like, you were just like, I was like, oh my God, Journey stood the whole time. Like, you literally, like, and you were not like, I need anything. You were just enjoying the show. Like, you was like, even when you was like, oh, I'm performing? All right. Give me my. So how did you, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, we all were like, Journey. It had to be unanimous. Like, and we had some really great people that were nominated. Shout out Kerry Jones. We had Josh Sings. We had Juwani. So we definitely had some good singers.
Yeah.
We was just like, you were all around. We were like, we felt like, this is R&B Artist of the Year. And it was just so, like, grateful. And we was just like, pictures, everyone, pictures. Like, look at Journey. Like, how was that? Like, how was receiving your first award?
It really was, like, surreal. Because, like, I didn't, not that I was, like, I've never been nominated for anything before. So I was just like, am I going to win? Like, I don't know. But I'm going to still come and, you know.
Right. She didn't even know she won. So
The R&B Artist of the Year is Miss Journey Mons.
It was so genuine.
I was just like, oh my gosh, okay. And I just thought it was such a great vibe, like having so many amazing artists there that I was able to connect with, even because the next day, like, me and Scarlett got in the studio.
I know. I seen you guys in the studio the next day.
It was super dope. And, you know, I love being around my peers and being able to connect with more of my peers and more of the people that's coming up with me. And, you know.
And been working really hard, right? It just seemed like everyone there, like, has been working on their music and really dedicated to the craft. And that's what I enjoyed most, that you guys really, really enjoyed being around each other. And that was the whole purpose of the experience, to experience not only, you know, us being together, was experience your peers that are really, really good in what they do, taking the stage and you enjoying that. So I definitely appreciated you coming out and showing us love. And like I told you, I was like, this is just preparation for you guys to get stimulated for those Grammys, those big awards. Like, it's just visually giving you, because you just see how you just said you never got anything, you never won anything before, you never got nominated. That's like, and you're acting, you're singing, and you've been doing this for a long time. So just imagine, you know, like, you finally get that feeling. It's this much closer to you now, girl.
Yeah, and thank you.
You're welcome.
That's such an important thing for artists, to, like, drive them and make them feel like somebody's, like, noticing what they're doing. So thank you.
It keeps you going.
Yeah, like, you know, just the small motivations, like, even people just giving me any type of like, when they repost my song, like, that they've been listening to it today, like, little things. And so that's just such a big thing that you're doing for artists. So I just want to, I love it.
Thank you. It's really, I love to see you guys shine. I just want to shine my light on you guys so everyone can see how special you guys are. And that's the whole purpose of this show. So give me your top 5 artists that have inspired you.
Let's say Etta James, Toni Braxton, SZA.
Spiced it up real quick.
Yeah. Janae. Oh gosh, it's only 5. even though I'm mad at Drake right now for that album, I'm gonna say Drake.
I'm not gonna lie, it's so funny every time we hear Drake, because I put him in my top 5 and didn't even realize he was like my top 5.
Yeah.
I had to think about it. I'm like, we gotta give it to
I got to,
like,
because every time I get in the car, what am I playing? I'm playing Drake. I can't lie. Like, I'm not gonna, I gotta give credit where credit is due.
Even though it's far-fetched when people hear Drake, it's like your top 5. It's like,
be
really,
for real.
think about it.
Be for real. Like, he's in everybody's playlist. And we're not gonna lie, in the first, like, when I had my first little Android phone in the 5th grade, what was I listening to? Walking home and walking to school, The Furthest Thing. And Just Hold On, We Going Home. On repeat. Connect, all of that. Like,
all of it.
That's what I was listening to. So he's definitely a part of that foundation for me. Even before, like, SZA and Janae, like, it was Drake who set that foundation. And, you know, my Scorpio brother. On my nerves, but yeah, my Scorpio brother. So I really have that, like, we hear in a way with, like, even his lyric, like, his writing is like, yeah. We're not gonna.
He's a beast. We're never gonna take that from you. So, what do you want to be known for? When it's all said and done and you're finished acting, you're finished singing, and you get to sit back and, like, look at everything you've done, what do you want to be known for?
You know how, like, let's use Game of Thrones, for example. Like, when somebody's, like, the lord of, like, an area or something, they're the lord or whatever, but they have a job. And their job is to help people and to fix people's problems. And, like, they have the thing where everybody lines up and they're like, I need help with this, or this is what happened to me and I don't know what to do, or they need advice, or they need guidance, or whatever. I kind of want to be that for people. Like, whether it's through my music or through my acting or through my voice in general, like me speaking through any way, or just through me living, you know, and being able to survive. Yeah, like the things that I go through and triumph through, like that's kind of what I want to be known for. That is what I want to be known for, because I feel like there's impact behind that with, like, just being able to touch people's lives, like, and, you know, sustain certain people's lives, like, you know, keep certain people alive with
I think
certain
that's so
things.
beautiful of you to say, and being so young. It's like you're very compassionate and have a lot of empathy, and that's amazing, especially at a young age, because normally people experience a lot, and that's what makes them, like, sympathize for people, have compassion for people because of everything that they've been through.
Yeah.
Your mom is wonderful.
Yes.
I see that she's a lot of the reason the way you are.
Yes, 100%.
Yes, and I think that is beautiful.
Yes, I'm a direct reflection of my mother.
It. I definitely see it. Yeah. I heard so much about her at the interview, and then when I finally met her, I was like, yeah. She's everything we talked about, everything I thought she would be. And I just want to say that's really dope.
Yeah.
And before we go into No Hesitation, because you know it's time, and Journey isn't 21 yet, so we're going to make her mom suffer for her.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's going to be a good one. But before we go, I know you have a new single you just dropped.
Yes.
So let's tell them about it first.
Rich Girl, okay?
A Rich Girl.
2023, we rich in the mind, we rich in the body, we rich in the soul.
You hear that?
Okay? We rich in the bank account. You know, like, all of that.
Our feelings.
In our bags. Like, very much
Nothing
so.
changed.
You said let me upgrade you. I don't got time today. If you can't pay it, you better find a way. Money is never the problem, but I need that bread by tomorrow. We don't have nothing in common, breaking these niggas like commas. Oh, what would you do for the money? Don't say nothing when you with a rich girl. Pussy so sweet like honey. I don't need your money, you can spend it on a rich girl. Louis, Prada bag. They wish they had it. I'm a rich bitch. Bitches outside eating fish sticks. I can never. I'm a bad bitch. Get it together.
Very much so. It was just, you know, after Bad Decisions, I feel like, just not even the song, but just where I was at and where I was, because my music is a direct reflection of how I'm feeling and what I need at the time. And, you know, I just really felt like I just needed to be empowered, and, like, where do I go from here is kind of where I was at. Like, you know, do I just fall into the bitterness and just be angry, or like, do I rise up and like, you know, elevate and talk about me now? You know, like, it's about me and my prosperity and my happiness and me being like, I'm not taking nothing from nobody. So that's what Rich Girl's really talking about. Like, the first line is, you said, let me upgrade you. I don't got time today. I don't have time. Like, I don't care what you're trying to do. I don't have time today. And it was like, she
really don't have time. There's no way she can have time. She's acting, she's singing. Like, what time does she have?
Let's talk about it.
She's definitely not playing with you. What time would you really have, like, to play with somebody?
Exactly. So, like, I think it still has that, like, I'm still not messing with y'all dudes right now. You know what I mean? It still has that. I'm not messing with y'all, but I'm talking about me now. And it's about me. And y'all still pissing me off a little bit, but it's about me. And, you know, Rich Girl. Rich Girl.
A whole vibe. And I really noticed, like, as I was listening to your music, like, your pen game is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Like, your melodies, your hooks. Like, I see them they're starting to get, like, how do you say, catchy, really, really catchy.
Thank you.
And that's when it gets crazy. So I can't wait. Like I said, like, I'm a person that sees the future. I always tell my team, like, I look at something that we do now because it's going to affect us in 6 months or affect us in a year.
Yes.
So I see you in like 2-3 years, and you don't even understand how huge I see you. So I'm excited that we got you here now, because I'm like, she was on the couch. I got her number.
I'm gonna be like,
I called Journey.
I was on the couch.
I called Journey.
I called Casey. Okay, I was on the couch.
So I can't wait. But definitely now, no hesitation. It's that time.
Oh my gosh.
And I think Journey kind of cheated because she's seen Nia's. I'm not gonna say, look, you didn't cheat. You actually did what you were supposed to do. You did your research.
Yeah.
Everybody else was just clueless on to watch an episode. I don't even understand why y'all wouldn't do that. But guess what? She watched the episode, and we still got different questions for her.
Oh, shout out to Nia.
Poor mom. Shout out to Nia. We love you, Nia.
Yes, we love you, girl. But oh my gosh, I'm nervous though, cause like
she was nervous too.
Like, I saw it. Like, I was like, oh, this is like a drinking game. Like, okay, I know what's going on a little bit. And, like, you know, I learned the rules, but, like, I didn't really dive too much into it. I don't know, like, the limitations and, like, how it stopped.
It's no hesitating, baby.
Oh,
so you
okay,
literally don't have time to just...
Okay, sorry, Mom, in advance. Because we're not legal yet, so...
I thought it would be really exciting that she didn't have to take it. Her mom is sitting there like, another one, Journey?
Okay, so let's...
You really got that one wrong,
Journey? I know. She's gonna beat me up. Okay, so
no hesitation next.
What's up? It's Journey Montana, and I'm on the Come Up Shows with my girl Casey. Make sure y'all tune in. Are you making bad decisions? Tune in right now.
Shut up when I'm sipping. Look at how I'm living. Everything different.